A family is identified by how sorry it is. Some folks say that love means never having to say you're sorry. But I heard it once said, the family is really just a collection of people you owe an apology to. And if families are refined and defined by love, then family of mine, go ahead. I'm waiting. Tell me you're sorry.
I'm not perfect. Look, I said I was sorry.
Oh, that's great. You just think you're so much better than we are.
What? Huh?
Just wallow in your own exotic little lives.
You don't know the first thing about me, Joanne. Nothing.
Oh, likewise, I'm sure. If I just met you on the street, if you gave me your phone number, I'd throw it away.
We don't have to like each other, Joe. We're family.
And it's time for another unbuckled, bumpy ride with your guide, the stark raving LEAN-atic himself. I'm Jim. Let's jump right in again. Welcome to my podcast based on my brand new book, available on Amazon, Live Life Lean, L-E-A-N. It's a year-long guide to gratitude and our daily grind. The book that combines some timeless wisdom from a whole lot of the world's wiser people with the reflections, reactions, and wisecracks of the guide's author, me. And it guides you, the reader, through the simplest system for a happy, healthy, authentic, and genuinely grateful everyday experience. I urge you to get the book. Of course I do. I wrote it. It's either at Amazon or at my website, ampurage.com. A-M-M-P-U-R-A-G-E. But even without it, let's make next week better than last, our next year better than the past, and get started now with today's episode of... So, they say it's easier to forgive than to forget. But is it? I mean, we can move on, and not remember every little detail, and that feels like forgetting. But forgiveness lets go of all rights to retribution, all right to request and expect a change. I mean, after all, isn't it that one of the keys to happiness is just having a bad memory? Well, we all just made it through Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah and some other memory-making, respect-worthy family holidays, and I'm sure that some feathers were ruffled and some feelings got ravaged. But hey, since we made it, no harm, no foul, right? Let's just move on. Get on with it. Just get over whatever it was that happened or didn't, right? Because in family, sometimes, hell, maybe most times, in family, life becomes easier when you learn to accept an apology that you never got and may never get. Because hanging on to hope for getting an apology from family can be like waiting for rain in a drought. Too little, too late, and oftentimes too long in between. And it just leaves things still feeling a little broken. But not the family. The family itself, that just limps along, with or without us often getting or giving deserved apologies. C. Joy Bell once said it best, and I quote, "There is no such thing as a broken family. Family is family. And it's not determined by marriage certificates, divorce papers, and adoption documents. Families are made in the heart, and the only time family becomes null is when those ties in the heart are cut. If you cut those ties, those people are not your family. If you make those ties, those people are your family. And if you hate those ties, those people will still be your family because whatever you hate will always be with you." Wow, well said. And remember, he who hates just demonstrates how weak they are or are feeling in that specific circumstance. Ouch. Gandhi said, "The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong." But why? Why is it so hard to forgive others, especially when you were right and they were wrong, right? Apologizing does not always mean that you're wrong and that the other person is necessarily right. Sometimes it just means you value your relationship more than your ego. I'll say that again. Apologizing does not always mean you're wrong and the other person is right. Sometimes it just means you value your relationship more than your ego. J.K. Rowling, author of Harry Potter, said that people find it far easier to forgive others for being wrong than being right. Maybe that's so. And maybe that's why we sometimes have such a hard time saying sorry to family and asking their forgiveness, because it's not just that we were wrong, but because they, the family that we will keep seeing again, because they were right. Damn it. Loving your freaking family can be friggin' sorry. But it should never feel wrong, no matter who is wrong, that is. Okay, so I got a question. Who the hell was the first person to ever say, love means never having to say you're sorry? Love means what? What kind of love is that? Selfie love? Come on, man. Love means never having to say you're sorry? It's just a catchphrase. It's based on a line from a 1970-ish movie Love Story, starring Ally McGraw and Ryan O'Neal. And it's spoken a couple times in the movie. And the big one is at the very end, when a father character says, I'm sorry, after learning of another character's death. In the script, at that point, the line is phrased a little differently. It says, love means not ever having to say you're sorry. But this line has also been criticized, and it's been mocked for suggesting that apologies are unnecessary in loving relationships. Ryan O'Neal, who was in that movie in 1970, was in a comedy a couple years later with Barbra Streisand called What's Up, Doc? And in the film's final scene, Barbra Streisand, she says, love means never having to say you're sorry. And she bats her eyelashes at Ryan O'Neal. And his character responds in a flat, deadpan voice, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. For the record, Ally McGraw, who uttered the line initially in Love Story, has said she always hated that line and considered it ridiculous. Kudos to you, Ally McGraw. See, an authentic apology is the crazy glue of life. It can repair just about anything, especially where family is concerned, especially where family is focused. And I got to tell you, any glue that works and fixes busted bonds within a family must be a little crazy. Got to be crazy to glue us all back together, because there's nothing crazier than family. But what is an authentic apology? Well, I'll tell you what it ain't. It ain't bookended by excuses and reasons. If an apology is focused on making sure that it has an excuse or a reason attached to it at the beginning or following it at the end, it simply means that they're likely going to commit the same mistake again. You know, the one that they just apologized for? Benjamin Franklin said it. Never ruin an apology with an excuse. I'd like to add to that, or a reason. You know, because we all may have good reasons for doing what we do, but when we do, someone still ends up feeling screwed. And even if we aren't trying to be rude, we end up with everything getting misconstrued. Don't be that dude. I'm pretty good at the whole sorry thing where my family is concerned, but I have been that dud of a dude before, and I don't want it anymore. So, listen up, family of mine. It's apology time. You're about to get what you got coming to you. Daughter Danny, sons Dylan and Corey. Sorry, guys. Sorry from me. Corey, I remember a showdown that we had one night. It was on a holiday. I'm sorry I didn't come up with and use a better tactic that night, Corey. I didn't know anything, and I didn't think better. So, Corey, I am sorry. Had another showdown one time with Dylan, my mid-kid. Dylan, I'm sorry that I didn't come up with and use a better tactic that day than just turning off the hot water while you were in the shower. And then you and I ended up in our first real face-to-face and facing and experiencing our first F-bomb. Dylan, I am sorry. Danielle, I'm sorry for letting you down. When Danny was so young, I told her, and she asked, I told her something that she never forgot, but I hope that she's forgiven. Forgiven when I told her that about her and her mom and my first wife, that we wouldn't get divorced. I wasn't trying to lie at the time, but I didn't keep my word, so what does it end up mattering now? So Danielle, I'm sorry. Not about the outcome, hon, but that I ever made you a promise that I didn't or couldn't keep, and that I'm sorry I didn't come up with some other way and use some other way to help you feel safe. Danielle, I'm sorry. To my wife, Caroline, you know all the many times that I've said sorry, and I've hopefully shown you that I was sorry by trying to, train myself to change my behavior. And I'd say it, I'm sure there will probably be more. Not because I'm making excuses, no. It's not because I've done anything now that I have to confess to. So no, there's no sorry right now, but I am a guy, and I am abundantly human. And still early. The day ain't over yet. So if it's true, and I believe it to be so, that a family is a collection of people that you owe an apology to, then it's not because you were wrong. And it's not because they were right. But it's because they are important enough to you that you want to keep them around, that you care about what they feel and what they care about, and because you want a chance to make things right again, and even take a chance on someone making them wrong. Sorry doesn't necessarily mean who's right and who's wrong, because sometimes it just means that I value my relationship with the people I love more than my ego. Wow. More than my ego? That is one big-ass bucket of I'm sorry. And I'm not sorry for that. And now more words of wisdom to wow your socks off from the new Get Lean, A Woman's Daily Guide to Gratitude. This time, page 57. What the expert said? Freedom is not worth having if it does not include the freedom to make mistakes. And the guide's point of view on this? To err is human, yes, but to forgive while forging to improve is exemplified as divine. So what do you think about this? Using the Get Lean guided system, what have you learned recently that's new? What have you earned that wasn't just given to you? Where are you adding to the world that's not just about you? But before you navigate someplace next, take a moment. Think about this, respect it, reflect on it, be grateful for it, and always remember, share to show you care. Thank you for listening. I hope you're enjoying your copy of the Live Life Lean, L-E-A-N guide, enjoying it almost as much as I did creating it. And if you don't have a copy yet, go on over to appurage.com or Amazon and get started today experiencing the amazing power of knowing every day is literally yours to be grateful about, and you need never feel unfulfilled again. I'm Jim Hall, and until next time, good health, God bless, and now go get a little dirty learning something new, earning what's not given to you, adding to this crazy world that we share, and navigating your way to something new and next.